We are T-minus 50 days until the beginning of WNBA basketball, so my mind is going in that direction. And with all the records that were broken last season, it kind of got me wondering, can Caitlin Clark break the all-time scoring record in a game? And while we're at it, can Angel Reese break the record for most rebounds in a game? So I've been off for a couple days because I've been trying to sort out my ID at the DMV, which if anybody living in New York knows the DMV, you know that it is not the funnest place to be and it is hard to get in. I ended up getting kicked out because I didn't have an appointment. Yes, I made one, but anyway, that's where I've been. In those couple days, there have been a lot that's happened. Cheryl Miller has become quite a contentious subject. Complex has named Caitlin Clark as the #1 most influential female in sports. Angel Reese is #2, and actually 7 out of 10 of them are basketball players. But today, I kind of wanted to get into a little bit more of a basketball stats-oriented video. And a few days ago, it dawned on me that the top score of a game, of any game in the WNBA is 53 points, which was set by Liz Cambage and A'ja Wilson. A'ja Wilson back in 2023 and Liz Cambage back in 2018. They both scored a psychotic 53 points in a game. What actually got me wondering this was Steph Curry scoring 56 points in that game a couple weeks ago, which is bananas. And you know, a lot of people compare Caitlin Clark to Steph Curry, even though I don't think it's like the most parallel comparison, to be completely honest. But it did get my gears going about how much can she score in a game? Now, her highest points scored in a game is 35 points against the Dallas Wings last season. And we're talking about WNBA game, not college. And I'm sure most of you know that are not living under a rock that the Indiana Fever have just put a team together. They have put some scorers around her. So I was wondering, will Caitlin Clark be scoring more or will she be scoring less? And just to parallel that, Angel Reese with her rebounds. I cannot express enough what an elite rebounder Angel Reese quite frankly is. And she actually sits at #5 in the all-time top rebounds. She's tied with a whole bunch of other people at #5 in rebounds when she had 22 rebounds in a game against the Aces, which is against A'ja Wilson, people. I was actually watching that game and I just could not believe she was out rebounding A'ja Wilson at a return. So will Angel Reese beat the record for most rebounds in a game? Remember, she's had 22 in a game, and the top rebounder of all time in the WNBA in a game got 24 rebounds. And that was set by Shamika Holdsclaw. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, but that was set way back in 2003. First, let's dive into the points record. So it's important to note that A'ja Wilson and Liz Cambage are both centers and they are post players. So they are like closer to the rim. They are getting these points. And Caitlin Clark is a guard. Now, it's also important to note that there are other guards in the top 5 list, as Diana Taurasi is a guard, Rakina Williams, who was #3 on the list, also a guard, Maya Moore was a forward. So it's not as if this cannot happen by a guard, but post players do generally score quite a bit. So I am of the opinion that this is going to be a hard record to beat for Caitlin Clark, and this is why. She has a stacked team full of snipers. There is Kelsey Mitchell. There is Dewana Bonner. She has AB to feed to in the post. She's going to have Sophie Cunningham. And then Lexi, when she gets hot, she's a sniper too. But anybody who's watched Caitlin Clark at Iowa knows that sometimes she gets a hot hand. So I honestly wouldn't put it past her to be able to break this record in one of those games. Maybe goes into overtime. But, you know, we have to also remember that she is not only just a scorer, she is a crazy good passer. She's going to be getting her team assists. She's going to be scoring threes. She is working on those middies. Quite frankly, I would like to pose this question to you. What do you guys think? I actually did post a poll to my Twitter account and I asked people the same thing. This is some of the things that they said. So this person on Twitter says, I wouldn't count on it since the lineup has 5 all-star caliber players and she'll be showing off her passing this season more than her logo threes. She never had a supporting cast like this at Iowa, so there's no need for her to score 27 points per game or go off like that. But it's always a possibility because of her talent. Now, this is the mindset that I personally have. Again, she is so talented that I wouldn't put it past her to do this, but she has quite a supporting cast, like the post mentions. The Indiana Fever front office spared no expense to get her snipers. And Kelsey Mitchell, sniper. And this other person says a single game score, maybe an OT game. She has too many other scorers around. She has got to go off on threes, probably 8 to 9, and the rest free throws at the line and regular twos. I picked the Wings as a team to do that against, which, as we know, the Wings were the team that she scored 35 on. This person says, I think with her range and her ability to drive at the rim, she is definitely at the top of my list to be able to do it. With those new guns, emojis, her range might be even further. And again, can't really discount this either. She has never been this jacked. And I am so excited to see what she does with it. Couple people are saying, yes, it's possible. For sure, I think it'll happen in a game when KM is cold and CC has to take over. And this person says, if she wanted to, she could easily average 30 points a game and break that record. She's going to have a game where she hits 8 to 10 threes, go to the line 10 to 15 times, and is just in the zone. But I don't think it will be in this season, maybe by year 6 when she hits her peak. These are all great arguments, I think. Now, moving over to Angel Reese and the rebounding record. So she currently sits here at number 5, tied with a bunch of other number 5s for the most rebounds in a game. Again, Shamika Holdsclaw, again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. That was a really long time ago. She is at number 1 with the record in 2003 with 24 rebounds. Michelle Snow is at number 2 with 23, which was set in 2006. These are old records. But Tina Charles has 23 also. So she is also tied at number 2, which she tied herself twice. So all these people, including Sylvia Fowles, Glory Johnson, Jonquel Jones, have all scored 22 in a season at number 5. And to be honest, watching Angel Reese, there is really nobody else that has her motor, that has her tenacity to get the ball. Asia Wilson, as far as the ball of it goes, is just so awesome. She is such a great center. She is so good at getting those rebounds. And in the Aces game where Angel Reese went toe-to-toe with Asia Wilson, I was shocked at how Angel just out-rebounded her at every step of the way. And I know everyone's going to say it's because she's getting her own rebounds, but even if you take away her offensive rebounds, Angel is still a rebounding monster. So I posed the same question to Twitter, and this is what some people had to say. So CC Report on Campus, shout out to you, says not only can she do this, she absolutely will and do it this year. CT Smith says, yep, and I believe she will hit a 2020. That's much easier than a 2020 assist game, which is very, very true. This is not a question of comparing Caitlin to Angel and who's better. This for me is just who's going to break these records? And I think that people are a lot more convinced that Angel will be breaking the rebounding record than Caitlin with the points record, because I think it is a little bit easier to do that than breaking the 53 points a game record, or the 53 point game record. As Mama Lil here says, oh, yes, AR is a rebounding machine. If no one else on her team rebounds, then sure, yikes. No doubt she's a rebounding machine. I wouldn't be surprised if she set a record of 30. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised either. She'll hold a new record for sure. I predict she will have a 30 rebound game. And you know what? This is very, very, very true. Because truth be told, I don't see anyone that can go up against her in Unrivaled. She was going toe-to-toe with Nafisa Collier. gave Nafisa Collier a run for her money. It got kind of chippy towards the end, and I don't know if you guys watched my Unrivaled video, but that was the game where Nafisa Collier kind of trash talked her at the end after hitting that game winner. But just going through it, this is something that I think people are totally convinced on, and she will break the rebounding record for the WNBA even in this coming season. But hey, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.